What's up and welcome back? I'm John Stark from ActTheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today I'm going to tackle the fire inside of all of us. No, it's just the fire inside, but that sound was me tackling the fire inside. It's done. I did it. It's put out. Y'all can rest easy. This is actually a movie that is competing for awards consideration, being submitted this year by Amazon, and it was presented for my consideration. As with nearly every single screener I've gotten this year, that means no audio description. I really, I challenge the idea that there are no blind and visually impaired people in any of these awards circles. But, you know, really, there are no visually impaired Writers Guild members? Like, come on now. Like, let's just, I know they're in SAG, maybe not in the nominating committee, but that shifts every year. So, uh, so this review is just kind of based on that, but this is Brian Tyree Henry and Ryan Destiny star in this. Ryan Destiny plays the real life Clarissa T-Rex Shields of Flint, Michigan. It's also a directorial debut from Rachel Morrison, who's a cinematographer. I'd love to say like lauded cinematographer, but let's be honest, that's a category that's never given an Oscar to a female before. Still waiting on that one. Maybe before we get 100. Maybe before we hit 100, we will have awarded a female cinematographer. Yes, I'm going to throw fire into the fire inside in this one. It's a boxing drama, and Clarissa is young. I definitely heard 17 at one point, but obviously that was like into the movie, so she could have started younger than that, and works her way up. Being a professional boxer, aiming to be the first female boxer from America to win at the Olympics. That's what she wants. So Clarissa works to do that, to train, and her trainer is played by Brian Tyree Henry. And they work, they fight, they climb, all under the guise of Flint, Michigan. Just this town which historically America has left behind, in case you just, I don't know, haven't read the news in the last ever. Just, I think they're still drinking bottled water. I don't know. I don't think we fixed that. Which is one of the reasons why my first criticism, which is not really going to affect the grade, is The Fire Inside says nothing. Flint Strong was an excellent title for this movie. I don't know why you changed it. Change it back. Thank you. This film needed Flint Strong. This film is about Flint. It's about the people of Flint. Like when she comes home, she's got pride from the people of Flint. There's a struggle in Flint. There's a representation of Flint. This film feels like Flint. And if a movie ever needed to, if a town ever needed a movie to lift it up, it's fucking Flint, Michigan, man. Come on, please. The Fire Inside. Wasn't that like the name of a song that was like nominated for an Oscar just a couple years ago from Diane Warren? Like, it's so generic. Anyway, luckily the movie's not. So I love Brian Tyree Henry. I think the fact that he gets recognized often as this serious dramatic actor really just keeps pushing him into more and more roles. I really love the Atlanta trio. Like, and all we're just short a Donald Glover nomination, and then we'll be good. Brian and Lakeith both have Oscar nominations. We just got to find a project for Donald Glover. But he's excellent as a coach who devotes his time because he sees a potential in Clarissa, but also he's struggling. He's poor. He has a job, like a day job, and he's missing shifts, and it's affecting his life, and he's also trying to take care of hers, and there's a little bit of that butting heads. when he's trying to take maybe a little bit more than what like normally like an agent slash manager would take, but it's like he's also doing everything else for free. So when stuff starts coming in, you know, but at the same time, when stuff starts coming in, this is why one of the reasons I like the movie, because otherwise this would just be a basic boxing drama. But it reminded me a lot of Girl Fight too, especially considering we have another breakthrough performer here in Ryan Destiny, and Girl Fight was the breakthrough for Michelle Rodriguez. So seeing that juxtaposition really worked for me. But one of the things I really like is it tackles uh, female sports, female athletes, why it's harder for them to make the money that male athletes do. This film absolutely opens up that door so we can have that conversation, which is a very important conversation, which is why it's like, were you afraid of having too many conversations like in one movie? Is that why you abandoned Flint in the title? I feel like this movie, its strength in this Oscar season as a little movie, a little boxing drama, is to have these hard conversations, is to force people to talk about things they don't want to talk about, which is the fact that female athletes don't get paid and aren't watched and aren't viewed. But man, we love to celebrate them when they win, though, but, we love to hold them up with pride. But, she wins this gold medal for America, spoiler alert, but it's also based on a true story. And then she comes home and she's poor, and she can't get an endorsement deal. And Brian's trying to get her an agent that can get her an endorsement deal. And the agent just levels with him. And it's like, there's no money for this. People don't want to see their mothers and daughters getting beaten up. Like this is, it's a little bit easier to sell some of the other sports like tennis and basketball, but this is not it, So, and she even later on, Clarissa addresses that directly, by saying that, she turns down something. She's like, I'm not going to take that when a male athlete who doesn't even have my record would be earning 3 times that amount. You know what I'm saying? Like her win record or whatever, her fight record or scores. So she's pointing out that basically she's at such a high level in her sport that even somebody who's at a lower level, but is a dude, would get paid 3 times more than she is for being kind of a loser, for being just sort of like a very mediocre athlete, would still earn more than her. Not even like the top. She's not even saying like, well, Muhammad Ali, but she's saying, this is, this is insulting. And this is where the film soars. And this is why having a female voice here soars. This is why Ryan Destiny's voice in the film matters. Brian is excellent at supporting her, which is why he's being run as supporting actor, even though he's in like all of the film. It's very much a lead actor role. But the reason why he's supporting is because he's the coach supporting the boxer. So it's the kind of thing where we're so used to feeling it as the supporting performance. But if you really look at his screen time, I think it's fairly comparable to Clarissa's screen time. Like there really isn't a whole lot I don't think there's that much difference in screen time. Like I'm sure she has a little bit more, but not enough to warrant like a dramatic drop into the supporting race for Brian. But I'm fine with him being there because I understand what he's doing. His character is literally supporting her. So, the music here was a standout for me. If I'm thinking about how I'm voting end of the year, there were 2 songs that stood out to me. I don't know which one's running in consideration. The one in the credits was fire, but there's also one during a boxing sequence. And I'm like, you know what? I don't listen to current music enough to know whether or not that's original, but there's a rap song that plays during the boxing match that was like absolute fire at the time that it needed to be. It was like Lose Yourself, but for this movie. You know what I'm saying? It was like right at the right time when she needed like that song to drop. Like we needed that moment to be created and somebody, because this is This is not like a hip hop laden movie where it's just like 20 different songs just all over the place. No, they choose when to put the song in, and they let the actors tell the story the rest of the time. So when that song hit, it felt like, yeah, this is the exact right song for this exact moment in time, and I thought it was fire. So either one of those songs I would be happy with seeing in best original song. I don't know where else it goes. I if I would my advice to Amazon would be run it in original song. Unfortunately, this film just people aren't talking about it enough. Ryan Destiny is lead actress in this race in this year. Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, you guys. There are too many lead actresses. Like, the Oscars just need to be like, you know what? We're going to 10 this year. We just are. Like, we're allowing ties. The voting was too close. This seems to be one of those years where we like get a surprise like sixth nominee because they were like, listen, they tied. The voting, it was tied. I don't know. They scored the same. I don't know what to tell you. you know, because it feels like that. It feels like more than any of the other categories this year. It's like people are like trying to come up with because I'm like, well, I don't know. I mean, who's the front runner in supporting actor? Well, I don't know who's going to win supporting actress. I guess actor Adrian Brody's in first place, but like, who else fills out the category? It feels like that if you watch everybody else, but every time you get to actors, people are like, damn, uh, shit. They list like 20 people who could all be nominated. And Ryan isn't even on there. Like that's my point of most of these lists is that she has one hell of a list to climb. But anybody who has a breakthrough performer award anywhere, she should be on this. Like, definitely. Also, first time feature. I would suggest taking a look at Rachel Morrison here. The future is female, and this film is all about that. It's embraced. Now, I have to unfortunately dial back because I'm blind, and this film doesn't have audio description. So what I miss? Well, it's a boxing movie, so the fights were very uneventful. I guess that's one of the reasons I like the music is because I was like, well, I'm not understanding the fight anyway, but this song is fire, you know. Um, it's hard in some of the quieter moments when she's sitting there, like, I guess contemplating life. I'm like, I don't know where you are, what you're doing right now. It's very quiet. The movie excelled in the larger scenes for me with obviously where the dialogue or where the personalities got bigger when they were talking about very specific things, but in some of the more muted moments, training montages and stuff like that, it didn't work. So it's not the most unwatchable movie in the world because this movie isn't, while it is a boxing movie, it's not dominated by boxing, oddly enough, it's more about Clarissa, her life, the rise, and then the truth about being a female athlete. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of that there too. So there's a lot more meat here than there are potatoes. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm gonna go with that. But still, that's why I'm able to a little bit more coherently tell you what this film is about than some of the other films that I've seen without audio description, is because like I picked up what they were putting down. I was like, yes, okay, so we're going to talk about the struggle of being a female athlete, but also, the struggle of being in Flint, for example. I don't know what's shown on camera. I don't know. I mean, like, that's kind of the thing where audio description would come in and help describe sort of what the place looks like, the buildings look like, where are they training, what are the living conditions like. You know what I'm saying? Like, when the question is asked, is the struggle real? I don't know because I didn't have audio description. So a lot of building up to that would be supported by accessibility for blind and vision impaired people. So unfortunately, I'm in critics groups and we have deadlines to vote for things, and I want to make sure everything had the opportunity to be considered. And by the time this got audio description to me, it's just, I'm trying to change the game. Maybe if I'm here long enough, by the time I'm an old man, we'll have more consistent audio description on all of these titles. But it's work. So I appreciate this film. I appreciate what it's trying to say. Is it my favorite film of the year? No. Although that's really hard to say for a film without audio description. Um, but I respect the hell out of it for what it is. I don't know where its awards potential lays. I think it's going to be more of a crowd pleaser. I think this is going to be a film that people watch, and if anything, it finds more of an audience than and helps to maybe boost Ryan Destiny's career, so she goes on to do something else, maybe like Resident Evil movies and Fast and Furious movies. But what else is Michelle? Blood Rain? Wasn't she in Blood Rain? She was in Blood Rain, I feel like. Um, so make good choices, Ryan. Make good choices. Although I think Michelle's wealthy, so maybe she did make good choices. I'm sure those movies paid well. Anyway, I don't know what to ignore me. So The Fire Inside. Flint Strong. I'm gonna give Flint Strong, which is what this movie should still be called. I would say it's unwatchable to a blind and visually impaired person because of impaired because of the fact that probably they're showing up to watch a boxing movie. And for those reasons, even though this is not like the most boxing you'll ever receive in a movie, and this is very much more about like the undertones, I would say it's not without audio description, it's not going to work for you. But my general vibe, which can change with audio description, and I try to give this little notion, it's just like a vibe. The vibe that I'm picking up is that The Fire Inside is probably a B plus, could go up to an A minus with audio description, could drop down to a B. But I don't really have many problems with The Fire Inside, other than the fact that I just don't think in this genre that it necessarily was a knockout punch to everything else in it. I see it more as just a general sports drama, and how we need more of them that come from the female perspective. We need more about female athletes, and more that have a realistic, this is the struggle, this is real. And the fact that Flint is here, I really wish I was showcased more, especially in the title. So, some things I really liked about this. Anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I will see you guys on the other side.